The system people trusted to deliver news fairly was already broken long before they realized it. Wars were fought with cannons, but power quietly shifted through information moving faster than armies. This story begins with a question most history books avoid asking. How did one family know the outcome of wars before governments themselves? But this is where the story turns dark, because speed became a weapon deadlier than bullets. In 18th century Europe, information traveled at the pace of horses, ships, and human endurance. Whoever controlled news controlled markets, governments, and the fate of empires. The Rothschild family understood this before anyone else. They didn't just finance wars. They rewired how information moved across continents. This single detail changes everything. Their couriers outran kings, generals, and official messengers. Nathan Rothschild built a private intelligence network spanning Europe's most critical financial capitals. Couriers moved through battlefields, blockades, and borders carrying handwritten truths markets never saw. While governments waited days or weeks, the Rothschilds knew outcomes and ours. And this part was quietly erased from history textbooks. Their advantage wasn't gold, it was timing. Timing meant buying when others panicked and selling before truth arrived. The most famous example unfolded during the Napoleonic Wars. Europe believed armies decided outcomes, but couriers quietly decided fortunes. At Waterloo, rumors spread chaos before official confirmation reached London. Markets crashed on whispers, not facts. But this is where the story turns darker. Nathan Rothschild already knew the truth. His courier arrived before anyone else. Carrying confirmation, Napoleon had fallen. Instead of celebrating publicly, he did something terrifyingly strategic. He sold British bonds in full view, signaling disaster to observers. Panic followed instantly. Prices collapsed as investors assumed Britain had lost. Then, silently, Rothschild's agents bought everything at fire sale prices. When the official victory announcement arrived, markets reversed violently. The family emerged with unprecedented control over British debt. This wasn't luck. It was system design. Couriers had beaten armies without firing a single shot. The rise of this network changed European finance permanently. Rothschild branches coordinated across London, Paris, Frankfurt, Vienna, and Naples. Money moved faster than monarchs could react. Governments became dependent on Rothschild credit during wartime emergencies. Dependency replaced sovereignty quietly. But every system reaches a breaking point. Public suspicion grew as fortunes centralized unnaturally fast. Rivals accused manipulation, secrecy, and shadow influence. Yet no laws existed to stop information asymmetry. The fallout reshaped how states financed war. Central banks emerged to compete with private networks. But this fix failed quietly. States still relied on insiders with superior intelligence. Modern financial markets inherited this structure. Speed still determines winners. High-frequency trading replaced couriers, but the logic remains unchanged. Information arrives unevenly, and power concentrates accordingly. This single pattern repeats endlessly. Those closest to information extract wealth first. Those last to know absorb losses. Today's wars are economic, not territorial. Markets react in milliseconds, not days. But insiders still move first. This part is rarely discussed openly. Financial dominance no longer requires armies. It requires networks, speed, and silence. The Rothschild couriers were early architects of this reality. They proved information beats force every time. 3 lessons emerge clearly. First, control of information creates invisible power. Second, markets reward speed, not morality. Third, transparency is always promised, but rarely delivered. The warning is uncomfortable. If systems reward secrecy, inequality becomes structural. Speed defines power, democracy struggles to compete. The open question remains unanswered. Who controls information today? And how far ahead are they? Because modern couriers no longer ride horses. They travel through fiber, satellites, and algorithms. The weapons have changed, but the strategy remains identical. History didn't disappear, it evolved. Understanding the story isn't about blaming a family. It's about recognizing a system still operating quietly. A system where speed replaces consent, and where wealth moves long before truth arrives. You want to understand modern power? Follow information, not armies, because the next war won't be announced. It will already be priced in before you hear about it.